Hey, yo, real quick, I just want to shout out Chris Eubank. Did what he was supposed to do, but I think this was the first time I actually saw flashes of his dad. And Zittel, I definitely want to hear your perspective. I saw some flashes of his dad the other night, and his dad really wasn't on my mind until the way he was delivering some of them shots. I was like, yo, he looked just like his dad. Like, I was pleasantly surprised the other night. So I just want to salute him. I actually thought he was gone. He made another trainer change from Bo Mack to Jonathan Banks. I thought before the change to Bo Mack, I was like, I don't think he got much left to get again. Didn't really look like it. He came back with Bo Mack, knocked out, I think it was Liam Smith. He knocked out Liam Smith. I'm like, okay, Bo Mack, you made that. You helped him get there, you know. Mm-hmm. But to see him make another trainer change in Jonathan Banks, I know Banks' pedigree, and he did what he was supposed to do against who he was across the ring from. But I just wanted to salute him real quick. That's the most I ever seen him look like his dad. And when you have a fighter who has the pedigree, comes from the pedigree that he comes from, that's what we all want and expect. We expect you to look just like your dad. And for the first time, I actually thought he did.
Yeah, I always thought he definitely inherited some good gifts and talent from his father. His dad, as you remember, Sean, was sharper in terms of his distance control, knowing what shot to let go at one time. He had a better backhand than Chris has, in terms of the straight right hand. But but Chris, Chris Jr., one thing he's always had that shows off that talent in his arsenal. He loves to throw the uppercut from a range where most fighters won't throw it. He loves that setup off his up jab and then ripping uppercuts behind it. I thought his punch selection was very dynamic and creative. And again, he's great at ripping those uppercuts, fast hands. His undoing is just some flaws, some holes in his game. Whenever Szeremeta would try to, he got caught with the right hand at the end of round one, did Chris Eubank, but he still pulls straight back and doesn't really do a whole lot out of that position. When you make him go back, he turned his head to the side a little bit, which is you old school Mexican fighters like Barrera used to do that, but they did it a lot cleaner. They'll turn that head and roll the shot. Right. But like Sean's doing. I don't know if they can see it on the podcast, but he sometimes he was in no man's land when he would go straight back. And then he's there in between punches. And then some of his fights get ugly because he always winds up clinching on the inside. He's never comfortable in that phone booth area, tightening it up and just staying there. He wants to, and he winds up doing that a lot because he loves that uppercut. So he'll have his distance off that jab. And that's what I'm saying. His dad was a lot better with his distance than Junior is, but he'll have you on the end of the jab. He couldn't miss with the jab against Szeremeta. And then he rips the uppercuts behind it. Now you're giving up that range off the uppercut because, you got to be a little closer off the jab to land it. And then he just winds up kind of smothering his work after that. And it makes it a little ugly. But, he is what he is basically at 35, a talented but flawed fighter. And the question is, Conor Benn sitting ringside probably licking his chops with his right hand. Conor Benn loves to wing that right hand, and Eubank was vulnerable for it. That's why he got hit in this fight. The question is, can Conor Benn, who is younger, can he somehow be the same fighter going up from 147 at whatever weight they'll fight at? If he can accomplish that, I think he might be able to beat Eubank because he is open for that right hand that Conor Benn loves to throw.
And did you see Conor Benn get in the ring yet?
No.
Oh, you ain't see it. You ain't see it.
What happened?
That's the only thing I want to talk to you about, man. So Chris knocks out his opponent. Yeah. Let's see, what's that? Yeah, he knocked him out
6 or 7.
In the sixth round. No, I'm sorry, in the 7th round. Knocked him out in the 7th round. And it seemed like immediately, Conor Benn got in the ring. And I'm thinking, like, where's your team at? He got in the ring and he pushed Chris Eubank.
Okay.
And then they started going back and forth. They broke it up. You know how that whole thing go. They had the microphone in between them. And, of course, Conor Benn called him out. The dads have had some history in the past in England. So it's a big English fight. But I think it's a fight that I even myself personally would really want to see because both these guys are like, Conor with all of the PED situation. He's been out of the ring for a little while. Even when he just came over here recently, it was like, you look like you, but you don't look like a good version of you. Right. And then, Chris is where he's at now. And it's like, this actually is an interesting fight. So I just wanted to hear what you thought about him jumping in the ring.
But I was thinking, does Chris waste his time with Conor, or this is last shot at winning the world title at middleweight? Because he's right there.
This fight is bigger than the title, right? Right, Zittel?
It is. Oh yeah. Especially given the landscape of title holders at 160, and 160 is considered one of the weakest divisions in boxing right now. So he'll definitely make more money fighting Conor Benn than Janibek or Carlos Adames or Erislandy Lara.
Way more.
Speaking of that, I'm not gonna say too much, but there might be a belt coming to the family soon.
Yeah, that's what's happening. I love that. I love that.
Give me a world title. Getting a world title shot.